Are you having ongoing issues with managing your blood pressure when you're on TRT? Maybe you had blood pressure issues before you started, now it's getting out of control, or maybe it's new for you. These are common scenarios that people find themselves in with regard to their blood pressure when they're on TRT. My name's Dr. Taranella, and that's what we're going to address in this video. We're going to look at what some of the research says about this, some of the things that I look at and consider when my patients have elevated blood pressure when they're on TRT. Again, my name's Dr. Taranella, and I make these videos to help you go beyond basic health to help you get a more nuanced understanding of what's going on in your body. And if you're getting value from these videos, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button to continue getting videos like this. Please read this video disclaimer before we jump into those details. All right, so in a different video on managing high blood pressure, naturally, we dissected the role of different things like exercise and the various signals that we can give to our bodies, and also the various signals that our body is giving us when we have high blood pressure. So in this video, I want to jump in more detail on the topic of high blood pressure when you're on testosterone replacement therapy, and what some of the things that I've seen clinically with this and what some of the research suggests about elevated blood pressure when you're on TRT, and basically what you can do to lower this effect. What I've seen kind of matches what some of the research shows too, is that blood pressure can go up when you're on TRT, but it doesn't seem to happen to everyone. And what's actually going on there? And I think we're all a bit unique in how we respond to various stimuli, but we also have to remember that not everyone is on the same dose of testosterone, and not everyone's levels are going to be the same, even if they were on the same dose of testosterone. And not only that, it's also, how we're going to respond in terms of how much estrogen we're making and how much red blood cells we're making. So all these different things need to be applied at the individual level to really understand what you should do when you have elevated blood pressure when you're on testosterone replacement therapy. So let's look at a subset of the population, or people that it seems to affect most, and see if we can come up with a common pathway or common understanding based on looking at these individuals. So a recent study looked at men with opiate-induced androgen deficiency. So this is where you take a group of people, they're on opiate therapy for some kind of pain relief. In most cases, this will lead to low testosterone levels. And so then they give them the testosterone replacement therapy because their levels are low. And the study found that those people that were overweight or obese or had red blood cell elevations at the upper end of the normal range were more susceptible to the increase in systolic blood pressure when they were on the testosterone replacement therapy. So this is kind of highlighting the fact that maybe being overweight has some sort of influence on it, because the people that were normal weight didn't seem to have the same effect. And also the people that had elevated hematocrit seemed to have more of this effect as well. Another study that is notable is one that used oral testosterone replacement therapy and its effect on blood pressure in men that were hypogonadal or had low testosterone. And they did show that there was a small but significant increase in systolic blood pressure after around 120 to 180 days of treatment. That's notable too, because that's usually the time frame around the 3-month mark where things like hematocrit or even estrogen levels are really starting to go up. Now, they can go up sooner than that, but that's when they're really going to start reaching those upper levels as the testosterone continues to have its effect on those various tissues and enzymes. And this increase in blood pressure in this particular study was more pronounced in those that had already had high blood pressure or were already taking some antihypertensive therapy. What's also notable is that they didn't really find any changes in heart rate or any changes in the diastolic or bottom number for the blood pressure. Another study also looking at oral testosterone replacement therapy found a similar small increase in blood pressure that was observed after 4 months of treatment. And there was more relevance or more significant increase in those that did have higher hematocrit levels. Those that had hematocrit levels rising by more than 6%. So if you're starting at like a 42 and you go up to 48 or 46 and go up to 52, That's kind of the range or the significant change that was seeming to have this effect. So for sure, there's several different studies looking at this mild increase in blood pressure. And of course, you're going to have different results in different people. It could be more of a moderate response in some people and more of a mild response in other people. But there certainly seems to be some consistency with the elevations in hematocrit and the elevations in blood pressure. So we can almost predict if people are needing to donate blood a lot to keep their hematocrit in check, that they may also be the ones that are going to have the rise in blood pressure. And so these studies seem to highlight the effect of testosterone on hematocrit, and the idea is that those red blood cells will raise blood pressure. This is just kind of intuitive. More red blood cells in the volume there is going to create more pressure or more stretch on the vessel, which means more pressure in the vessel. And this is what a lot of times I do find in my patients as well. And a lot of my patients will say that after they donate blood, their blood pressure goes down. Sometimes it just goes down for a couple days or maybe a week. It doesn't seem to typically stay down as long as the hematocrit stays down. In other words, if this was purely just a hematocrit effect, we would expect that it would stay down for much longer until that hematocrit rises once again into those higher hematocrit ranges where there's more pressure, more volume in the system. So I think this is interesting and maybe suggesting that it's not actually the high hematocrit that's raising the blood pressure. Maybe it's something else. It's also worth noting that not everyone with high hematocrit is actually going to have high blood pressure. Whether you're on testosterone or not, some people have high hematocrit for other reasons and don't have high blood pressure. But of course, when we add the testosterone into your body, it certainly is an additional or different signal that, depending on what your levels were when you were much younger, may be a stronger signal than your body is used to, or maybe isn't quite the right amount. And testosterone is generally stimulating to the body, and it's likely that there's multiple factors going on here that are influencing or causing the elevation in blood pressure. We do already know, though, if you already have kind of borderline blood pressure issues or actual blood pressure issues, it seems like that's going to go higher if you start testosterone. And this suggests that potentially those people that, seemingly didn't have a major or overt high blood pressure maybe had some fragility in their cardiovascular system already, and going on the testosterone just kind of pushed them over the edge. The testosterone replacement therapy is kind of exposing that vulnerability in this case. Now, the increase in blood pressure that you're going to see is probably a dose-dependent phenomenon, like it is with everything else. With hematocrit, for instance, there's a certain dose that you can take that won't actually raise your red blood cells or hematocrit. Now, I don't know what that dose is for you. It's going to be slightly different for everyone, but I've done this with my own patients and know that there's certain doses that are going to dramatically increase the hematocrit and certain doses that are barely going to raise it at all. And so the same idea is probably true for blood pressure. So if you're having high blood pressure on TRT, you can reduce the dose, try to find a dose that is not going to affect your hematocrit, and maybe you're going to have the same effect on your blood pressure. Of course, you need to be mindful of any benefit that you're going to get at a certain dose of testosterone. You're going to get diminishing returns or maybe not notice anything. So you have to weigh those things, but this is just one idea. You can also try and find out what's driving the fragility in the system to begin with, or what's driving the underlying blood pressure vulnerability. And there's actually a lot of different things that can make our bodies more vulnerable to higher blood pressure. And I discussed this in another video on managing high blood pressure naturally. The main idea, though, is you can think of our bodies as like a closed system that's getting stimulus from the outside environment, like food, stress, vitamins, medications, other substances like alcohol. And that higher pressure in the vessels is a signal that your tissues or your body or some aspect of your system is sick. And you want to explore what might be behind that or what's driving that. The other thing with testosterone is there's an increase in estrogen that occurs in differing amounts in differing people. And with increased estrogen, you can get a corresponding increase in fluid retention. The amount of aromatization or the amount of estrogen you're going to produce and the amount of estrogen receptors in your body is going to differ wildly from one person to the next. And so you can have a fairly large effect in one person that can lead to fluid retention. Now, estrogen isn't always bad and can also be good in some ways for blood pressure, allowing the vessels to dilate and relax, which would ultimately lower the blood pressure. But on the fluid retention side of things, it can definitely raise that pressure. And so I think it's kind of a dose-dependent response. When you get too much estrogen, you're going to start getting more of that fluid retention. And if you don't have enough, it can also raise your blood pressure for reasons of not allowing that nitric oxide to be present. There's a video that I went into depth on estrogen if you want to check that out, and dialing in like when you should be checking and which lab metrics to check as well. So I think there's three main themes that are going on with elevated blood pressure or high blood pressure when you're on TRT. One is some sort of inherent vulnerability, whether it's due to being overweight or there's some sort of vulnerability in your body already. And this is highlighted by the fact that some of the research is showing that those with already elevated blood pressure are getting higher when they go on TRT. And also people that tend to be overweight or have some other cardiovascular vulnerabilities tend to get elevated blood pressure as well. So if you're having those types of issues, if you think that may be underlying, you might want to check out that other video that I did on managing high blood pressure naturally. That may be useful for you. The second thing with elevated hematocrit is it may be signaling that you just have slightly too much testosterone, and reducing the dose is probably the right approach, or at least initially a good idea. Outside of this, sleep apnea may be playing a role as well. And then lastly is the effect of estrogen with estrogen blockers and different things, but you want to make sure you're not overdoing it. So you want to keep that estrogen in a fairly tight range, say somewhere between 20 and 40. Ultimately, though, it's going to be determined by yourself and your doctor to manage this and check your levels, see if it's helping, see if it's hurting as far as estrogen and managing that level. So hopefully this gives you some better ideas on how to manage high blood pressure when you're on TRT. If you do have follow-up questions on this, please drop them in the comment section. If you want a more customized, useful answer, consider joining the membership program. We'll have more time and attention to dedicate to your questions.